What's good? What's poppin', everybody? Hope you're all having a great day. Welcome back to another New World video. Today we're going over a pretty big change that wasn't even in like the patch notes. It's just something that I think a lot of us didn't really understand and didn't know how it all worked. We had a preconceived idea of how gear score worked in the game, and then Dr. Lupo, our boy, who I love because his name is Ben, just like mine. Short little side note. He interviewed Amazon Team or AGS, and they kind of broke down how gear score actually works in the game. So before, what we thought about for gear score was that we have a gear score here, 387. Okay, so all of our loot is going to be, all the drops are going to be accustomed to that. So if we have a 387 gear score, we're not going to get probably anything much lower than that, and the average is going to be 387 or above, right? That's how we thought it was. And turns out it's actually slot based. So what does that mean? So for instance, if we look here, my fire staff that I have here is a 395 gear score. But something that doesn't have a very high gear score, like, let's see, my my boots are 389. They're the lowest I have. Maybe one of my gems. My Soul Warden's ring, 340, right? I think you get this from like a quest or something. I just haven't gotten a ring yet. But before, what we thought was that, okay, I don't really have to worry about buying another ring or farming a ring, because eventually whenever I drop a ring, it's going to be at least my gear score and above, right? Well, no. Now what we know is that it is slot based. So if I'm going to be getting a ring drop, it's actually going to be about 340, 350 is like the average we'll probably get. Now, I'm going to preface this, but before we get a little bit more into it, and say that this game still is an MMO. There is still drops and RNG. So just because there's an average doesn't mean you can't, hit the lotto. So say you have an average score of 500, doesn't mean you can't get a really lucky 580 drop. Just because your score is 500 doesn't mean you can't get these really crazy drops still. But again, that's RNG. It's luck based. It's not, I don't want to say skill, because any part of getting drops isn't really skill in this game, but it's knowing what your average is and kind of working around that. So anyway, back with that. So since I have a 340, I have to kind of grind or continuously get new rings to bring it up to my average gear score, back to about 387. So when I drop a ring, it's no longer going to be, when a ring drops, it's no longer going to be, 387 like we thought. Now, I don't know where we thought all this. I think it was just kind of the general consensus. I don't think there was an actual place that we saw this. I think that's just what we kind of thought as a whole, as a community. Now we know it's different. And so how this has changed everything. Well, now if you want to get a better ring to get your gear score, because right now this is probably what's dragging my gear score down the most, right? It could probably be 390, 395 without this ring dragging me down. I can either go buy a ring to match up to it, or I'm going to have to kind of farm rings, or not farm rings necessarily, but farm drops. And it seems that Amazon, what they want to do is do incremental small increases to, keep retention and to keep the grind kind of prevalent. So that means that I'm going to have to get rings kind of over and over until it kind of gets me up to the average that everything else is. But even at that point, if you think about it, if I'm just doing a bunch of drops, everything else is going to be starting to go up. So my ring's going to be kind of left down below. So that just means that once we hit kind of the gear max right now, the gear score max, we're just going to kind of have to keep farming for the stuff that isn't there yet. And I saw this on another video, or a Reddit post, it's something I was thinking about too. I think what all this means is that they're setting up for future content. Now, the reason why I say that is because it's unlikely that 600 is going to be the gear score cap, and it's going to stay that way for a while. I think that they will be increasing it with the new zones or whatever content they end up pushing through. And I also think this means that it is going to be coming a little bit sooner than we think, because we will be hitting caps relatively soon. Most people will be. I haven't been able to play as a little bit recently, so I'm kind of far behind, but I'm still trying to push out this content. But anyway, I think that there's going to be content coming a lot sooner than we might think, and the gear score is this system seems to be in place and not really going to change. I don't see a reason why they would. So what does this all mean? I know it's a little bit confusing and it doesn't really seem that different, or maybe you don't think that it has that big of an impact, and you're kind of right, but it also does, in the sense that now getting those legendary 520, 530, whatever the starting legendary items are that you can get when you hit 20 weapons skill and all that stuff, is good starting area. But before, we got it because we thought it was going to carry us and our other items back up, and that's no longer, that's not how it's going to be. Now there's still a great place to get a starting area for a weapon, but overall we just are going to need to be farming elite zones or dungeons to be getting a bunch of drops. So, and that is kind of what we've already been doing, but now we understand how the system works and we can kind of use it more to our advantage, and maybe understand why our gear score wasn't really representing what we thought it was, and why some items weren't actually going up when we thought they were. But essentially, summarize this, I know it's a little bit confusing and I might not have done the best way to convey it, because it is a little bit confusing. But essentially, before, we thought gear score essentially affected all your item drops. That's how we conceived it before. Now we know that gear score is important, but it's slot based. So my 391 gloves here are going to be dropping 391s and up, but something like my Soul One's ring is going to be dropping 340s and up. It's not automatically going to go up to my gear score of 387 for drops. Now, this is going to obviously have some impact, and we will see if they're going to do anything. Amazon's going to do anything that needs to be changed about this. So far, it hasn't been impactful enough for us to be upset about it or have it not work in our favor, or something that we can't do about it. So we're just going to have to see, now that we know this new information, and kind of see how the system works and see if there's ways that it benefits us, or if it actually does hurt us in the long run, or if they're setting us up for new content. We're just gonna have to see. But I just want to make this video, let you guys understand, help you guys understand what we know now about gear score and the importance of it. If you guys did enjoy this, make sure to give it a like. This is, I think, day 6 or 7 of maybe only 5. I actually don't even know, of a New World video every day for me. So make sure to subscribe, come along with the journey. We still got 16 more days left in the month to be doing a video every day. I do stream live on Twitch every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'm actually going to live tonight on this Thursday, because yesterday I was not able to go live. So come check me out there. My link is in the description down below. Follow me on my socials. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you all have a great rest of your day. Until next time, take it easy.